To the US now, where Democrats have swept four major races in yesterday's state and local elections in the US, with New York electing 34-year-old Zohran Mamdani. Democratic strategist Nayela Amaru joins us now from San Juan in Puerto Rico. Good morning, Nayela. Tell us more about how Mamdani became New York City's mayor.
Oh, thank you for having me. So I think that his campaign made clear a few different things in regards to campaigns and the positioning of the Democratic Party. One, Mamdani was really able to not just bring out new voters, but really engage them in the process. And so he had over 100,000 volunteers under the age of 35, of all ages, but a huge demographic under the age of 35, which is a demographic here in the U.S., which tends to be on the lower turnout, and was able to really tap into this excitement by really speaking to the issues that are impacting everyday New Yorkers with a focus on affordability, really focusing on economic issues, bread and butter issues that New Yorkers are really concerned about, whether it's affordable rent, whether it's universal childcare, but really being able to tap into his messaging and what he really wants to prioritize as mayor, was really able, again, to not just bring them out as voters, but to engage them in this process, which I think was a core part of his strategy to really win something that was unfathomable a year ago here in New York City.
So interesting. And Nayela, obviously, it's an historic moment too, as Zohran Mamdani becomes the first Muslim mayor of New York. What does this moment mean for minority and also for marginalised communities in New York and across the United States?
He's also an immigrant, right? And I think that there's so many layers to his candidacy, and not just what he as an individual represents, but also how that showed up in what he was speaking to for New Yorkers of all ages and ideologies. But this is a very powerful moment, right? And oftentimes for those of us, I was not yet in New York at that time, coming of age, and he spoke to this, on the campaign trail as a Muslim in the shadows of 9/11, how that really spoke to a very unique experience as a Muslim New Yorker, and how, as a Muslim, he is now mayor of New York City. And I think it just reflects this trajectory, this journey, that how New York has evolved, where we have been, where we are now. New York is a city of immigrants, and to have this moment, not just symbolically, but moving forward into governance, how the issues of New Yorkers, but particularly immigrants, particularly in this moment of time with conflict at the federal level, with the attacks from ICE coming into major cities, particularly here in New York City, that there's an incredibly powerful moment here that is inspiring. And I'm excited to see how that will play out in other races across the country, and how this will possibly change, the reflection of who throws their hat in the ring and makes the decision to run for office, be they immigrant, be they younger, be they Muslim. But there are so many ways to be a New Yorker. And this is certainly an incredibly powerful image of how we can show up as New York, electing our first South Asian, Muslim, and immigrant New Yorker in history.
Fascinating moment, Nayela Amaru. Thank you so much for joining us on News Breakfast.
Thank you.